Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, airports and sea terminals are being closely guarded in the large-scale manhunt for the suspect in a double stabbing in Launceston. But police insist Kerry Whiting is not a major threat to the community as the hunt to find him spills into a second day.
Dense bushland crawling with officers scouring through scrub as reinforcements search from the air. But after 2 days, there is still no trace of Tasmania's most wanted man.
He could be 100 mile away by now if he's been in there all night.
44-year-old Kerry Whiting has been in hiding since yesterday morning's double stabbing in this Ravenswood home that left one man dead and a woman fighting for life.
She's still in a critical condition and ongoing support will be provided to her.
As well as her 2 teenage children who witnessed their mum being attacked. Yesterday, police were confident the accused killer was still in the Launceston area. Since then, there has been numerous tip-offs, but no confirmed sightings.
Could be anywhere around here, mate.
The hunt now expanding to include the Launceston Airport and Spirit of Tasmania terminal. As for anyone harbouring the fugitive,
They have that option of providing it anonymously, they have that option of ringing up the police, and they have that option, if he's there and then present, to contact us on 000.
authorities maintain he poses no specific threat to the community.
But apparently he's in no danger.
His brother Neville Whiting is currently serving a 20-year jail sentence for the 2011 bashing murder of Ravenswood man Scott Rock. Police are working to track Kerry down, and when they do, his future could also lie in Risdon Prison.
The searches are following any line of inquiry that we get. It hasn't stopped and it won't stop until we find him.
Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania now has a plan for how the state will manage COVID moving forward. The details released by the Premier this afternoon, revealing those who are fully vaccinated will be required to spend less time in quarantine if exposed to the virus.
Tasmanian businesses have spent the past month preparing for borders to reopen. Now we know what will happen when COVID returns to the state.
Now, obviously, we're reopening on the 15th, and I want to talk about what our collective and individual responsibilities will be.
Explaining what will be required if you're exposed to the virus.
The time you're in isolation will again be dependent on your vaccination status.
Tasmanians who test positive for COVID-19 will need to isolate for at least 10 days. Unvaccinated close contacts are required to quarantine for a minimum of 14 days. Those who are vaccinated will only have to isolate for 7, but once they leave, they'll be required to wear a mask for the following week if they're unable to physically distance.
The aim of our new processes is that we can limit the number of people that need to be quarantined.
Businesses once again advised to dust off their COVID safety plans.
We want business to remain open and continue trading.
But the opposition says more details are needed.
Businesses need clarity and certainty and much more information that was provided this afternoon.
The focus is still on getting Tasmania vaccinated. More than 84% of those aged over 12 now double-dosed.
What this means is that we still have 26,500 Tasmanians that are due for their second dose before the 15th of December.
More concerning for public health is the almost 40,000 people yet to have a single dose of the vaccine.
We could vaccinate every single one of those if they actually turn up for vaccinations.
And with just 20 days to go, time is quickly running out. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
The defence and prosecution in a high-profile attempted murder trial have made their final pitch to a Hobart Supreme Court judge. Justice Michael Brett will deliver his sentence next month after a jury found a 39-year-old man guilty of lighting his girlfriend on fire in 2017.
A Chigwell home was declared a crime scene when a man doused his 20-year-old girlfriend in petrol and set her alight in his father's shed. Last week, a jury found him guilty of attempted murder by majority verdict. Today, the prosecution and defence gave their final submissions ahead of his sentence. Neither dispute the accused was the one to put out the flames that fateful day. Prosecution lawyer Linda Mason telling the court the act of igniting was done to punish the complainant. and to make good to her his promise, if he couldn't have her, no one else could. The defence arguing within seconds of her clothing catching alight, at some stage he put her out and he saved her life. Justice Michael Brett told the court, "I have to proceed on the basis he lit a flame with the intention of taking her life, but the fact he put the flames out reduces the crime he was facing." The court heard the victim won't be making an impact statement and it's unlikely she will ever return to Tasmania due to her profound and lifelong trauma. The man is due to be sentenced on December 9. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's civil construction sector is continuing to boom, and data shows the industry's workforce will need to double in the coming years to keep up with a growing list of projects. Now, a new online hub will help connect job seekers with employers.
We're needing to grow capacity to meet the capacity demands of the available tenders in the market.
By 2022, the Australia Infrastructure Report is showing that we'll hit our peak and a third of jobs that are listed will be unfilled. So we really need to act now and grow our workforce to fill those positions.
The hub aims to help break down barriers for those interested in a civil contracting career. Ground will be broken early next year on a new state-of-the-art organic composting facility near LATROBE. 50,000 tonnes of waste will be diverted from landfill in the only service of its kind in the northwest.
Not just great for your veggies, composting helps the atmosphere too. Instead of being emitted as methane, the carbon is taken up by plants and trees.
So every time that we can divert organics away from landfill, we have a 23 to 25 times benefit on the environment.
Dulverton Waste Management are chasing those enviro gains with a new organic waste facility to be opened in 2023. In an agriculture-focused area, it's a valuable disposal option for producers.
The really exciting part about this development is the actual potential for us to receive that material back and reuse it.
The federal government will contribute $6 million, 3 more already pledged by the state. It's now up to local councils to implement collection services.
We hope some more will do that, particularly with FOGO, and we think it'll do a fantastic job reducing landfill, reducing our emissions and also creating compost.
We considered it some years ago, it fell over. Now we will have the ability to do it in this facility. I believe that will be the trigger that will get us to actually start that operation.
46% of all landfill on the northwest coast is classified as organics. This facility will create a more sustainable pathway for 50,000 tonnes of it. A grant process is opening soon to find and fund a partner in the south for a similar facility.
So that we can have the whole of Tasmania serviced with the type of technology that Dulverton is going to be pioneering up here.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Rural Youth has postponed next year's AgFest over concerns its original date may not be economically viable. The event will now be held in late August instead of early May. The organisation says the decision to delay wasn't taken lightly and key stakeholders were consulted. Celebrity chef Ben Milbourne has spoken out about his ongoing legal battle. The Devonport City Council is pursuing more than $12,000 in outstanding utility charges from 2019 for his failed Charlotte Jack restaurant.
I think that in any relationship, any business relationship or any relationship in general, both parties have to agree to something and then deliver that. We feel like we delivered our end of the bargain and were let down a little bit by council.
The former MasterChef contestant has been appointed culinary curator of Hobart waterfront restaurant Peacock and Jones. Golfers will put their stamina to the test for a good cause next month. The longest day event was launched today and will challenge players to take on 72 holes in 24 hours. All of the funds raised will be put back into local cancer council operations to help conduct research and deliver prevention campaigns.
Every Tasmanian has a cancer story, so the golfing fraternity will also be touched in many ways by cancer. Plus, they also love playing golf, so I think it's going to be a perfect combination.
The community is being encouraged to take part, with more than 70 people already on board. Well, the action kicks off on December 13 at the Royal Hobart Golf Club. Tasmanians and tourists attending the Taste of Summer will be able to quench their thirst with a glass of Clover Hill. Organisers hope punters will be on cloud wine, with the premium bubbles chosen as the official sparkling of the event.
Clover Hill and the Taste of Summer officially partners in wine, taking the cellar door to Hobart's waterfront to promote the best of the Pipers River region.
This is called the Tasmania's Taste of Summer, not the Hobart's Taste of Summer. So it's really vital for Tasmania to have the economic impact that the Taste of Summer will produce, to have every corner of Tasmania represented.
Already an iconic Tasmanian brand, its location providing the perfect conditions for an amazing drop.
It's really about the balance of the fruit and the blend that's going into it, but really up here in the Pipers River, we're sitting at 280 metres above sea level, so it's really about the acidity.
The sparkling will be a hit with punters, with more than 10,000 bottles expected to be consumed at the Taste of Summer. And it's hoped it will pull tourists to stay in the state longer, to taste more of what regional Tasmania has to offer.
Places like this do see enormous economic benefits for those local communities.
The Taste of Summer will run from December 28 until January 3. Elizabeth O'Neill, 7 Tasmania News.
A leading Tasmanian AFL prospect has been selected at pick number 29 in the national draft. Sam Banks is off to the juggernaut of the Richmond Tigers in what is a dream come true for the Clarence boy.
Hold on, Sam. This was the moment Sam Banks learnt of his AFL fate, surrounded by family who've supported him in the lead up to draft night.
With pick 29, Richmond have selected Samuel Banks from the Tasmania Devils.
Donning the yellow and black this morning at Blunston Arena, Banks was taken at pick 29 by Richmond as the sole interstate selection for the club.
Yeah, when the name got read out, it was shock for a start, and then just everyone got around me, and it was just unbelievable. Yeah.
Coming from humble beginnings at the Woodsdale Football Club, the rebounding defender's career took off after a debut for the Tassie Devils as a bottom ager.
Your home ground's now the MCG, so it's a massive step, but it's unbelievable. Yeah, can't wait.
The Tasmanian Devils outfit were swelling with pride today as Banks heads to the Tiger Army, where head coach Jeromey WEBBERLEY was also drafted back in 2009.
He's got a really, I suppose, AFL athletic profile, but then once the ball is in his hands, it's his decision-making and kicking ability that really sets him apart.
Despite little on-field action last year due to a wrist injury, there's confidence he'll be game day ready for round 1.
He'll make sure that he gets the rehab process right, and he'll give himself an opportunity early in the year, and I'm sure that he'll play good footy.
The 18-year-old joins the list of local talent lining up for Richmond and will now go on to join 3-time premiership Tasmanian Tigers Jack Riewoldt and Toby Nankervis at Punt Road.
You know, great to continue that strong Richmond-Tasmania connection, and I'm sure he'll enjoy his time there.
And while it was all about the Hawks growing up, Banks has now been made an instant Tiger.
The Tigers are giving me a crack at the top level, so I've switched already, I think, with the Tigers, so yeah.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
There's renewed speculation champion Tasmanian mare Mystic Journey could be bound for retirement. Trainer Adam Trinder revealed a decision will soon be made on the racing future of the one-time All-Star Mile winner.
She's been a tremendous mare for us. She's done a job. She owes us nothing. So that conversation's got to be had.
Mystic Journey has won 12 out of her 28 starts. 2 Tasmanian sailors have been honoured at the Sports Night of Nights. Duncan Hine, the skipper of last year's Launceston to Hobart winner Alive, was crowned Offshore Sailor of the Year, while Wynyard's world champion Chris Simons was awarded Parasailor of the Year. Alive is among a fleet of 112 also lining up for next month's Sydney-Hobart yacht race. Squash superstars have gathered in Hobart to fight it out for the annual Clarence Championships. It's been a tough year for top-end local talent, including Tasmanian #1 Jack Hudson, who hasn't been able to travel frequently to high-level competitions interstate.
I've been hitting with my brother quite a lot, so he's getting quite good now, and just trying to do the best I can down here and look at other aspects of my game, such as fitness and court movement.
Some of the nation's best have descended on the state for the competition, and they'll be battling our weather too.
It's a little bit hotter up in Queensland, so the ball sort of changes when it's hotter. So here it's a slightly colder ball and you have to adjust your game slightly.
The competition kicked off today and will continue all weekend. And tonight's Friday flashback takes us back to 1992, the first running of Targa Tasmania. Attracting Formula One legends and million-dollar cars, the event was a huge success, although not every driver had a race to remember.
The able Tasman carried precious high-powered cargo into Devonport. Rare and expensive cars were a centrepiece from the first edition, but none turned more heads than the $1 million Ferrari F40 imported from Europe by transport magnate Chaz Kelly.
Wouldn't like to hurt the car for a start, and also my wife's going with me, so that'll put a bit of a clamp on the speed.
Alas.
Yesterday's short stay through the Huon Valley, claiming a prized victim in Chaz Kelly, the former Australian Speedway champion who crashed his $1 million Ferrari near Cygnet.
The event didn't quite roar into life.
Start your engine.
But when you had former F1 champions Sir Jack Brabham and Denny Holm, plus Sir Sterling Moss, there was enough star power to build excitement. After having a go at Invermay's indoor go-karts for a charity fundraiser, they jumped into Targa and were smitten straight away.
I would say it would be the leading race of its type in the world, I must say. I think it'll do as much for Tasmania as the Grand Prix did for Adelaide.
Speeding through the sidling into Scottsdale would become a well-worn path for Targa drivers. 200 entrants weaved their way through the northeast, all trailing Launceston's CRICK in a 91 Honda NSX.
The NSX is not the most powerful car in the field by any means, but today's roads are going to suit the car. They're nice and smooth.
Cameras were everywhere, the pictures plastered across television sets nationwide. Hobart's Queen's Domain was packed with people catching a glimpse of these expensive toys. While the West Coast turned on treacherous conditions, a stray rock was enough to smash a 65 Ford Lotus Cortina's windscreen.
So we put the sunglasses on and kept going.
There was a good old Barney over the type of windscreen.
Well,
no, triple toughened is not laminated.
Well,
thankfully, it was all cleared up in time for a hero's welcome at what was Hobart Sheraton Hotel.
I've enjoyed it. The roads are wonderful, just absolutely superb for doing what we're doing.
Do you feel that Tasmania's got a lot to offer?
CRICK won Targa's first edition. His greatest memory was racing alongside Sir Jack.
He was my childhood hero. I used to run across the road at Longford between races to get Jack's autograph, and then he ended up being my teammate in the Honda team, both of us driving Honda NSXs.
And he still remembers the public support.
Every school was out on the side of the road and there were just people everywhere. I didn't have any concept of distance to corners really, because I'm used to driving on a racetrack where you have a braking marker. None of those in Targa. There are a lot of new things to learn.
And a lot of memories as Targa prepares for its 30th anniversary next year. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. Hobart are below average 15 today. Launceston reached 19, Burnie 17, Devonport our high with 20 degrees. After last night's rain, conditions did clear today. In the 24 hours to 9 a.m, Mount Barrow recorded 73 millimetres. Temperatures did sit below average today everywhere. Lowhead 19, Strawn 18, Friendly Beaches 17 today, King Island, St Helens, Grove and Ooze 16, and Lyawini scrambled to 9 degrees. Cloud did stream over the south and east in that southeasterly airflow. Another band did clip the northwest. Cloud with thunderstorms lies over northern New South Wales, eastern Queensland and the Northern Territory. An onshore flow pushed cloud over southern South Australia and the Bight. Tomorrow, the high west of Tasmania extends a ridge south of the state. That trough affects the mainland right around in a big loop. Winds southeasterly at 10 to 20 knots, but more variable over the south and inland lakes. As we fire into the weekend, we're looking for a sunny weekend too for most of Tasmania for Saturday and Sunday. But tomorrow, Hobart 19, same for Maydena, partly cloudy for Oatlands 17 the top. Launceston a high of 21 degrees, fine, partly cloudy. Partly cloudy as well for Devonport, 15 the high for Lyawini after an early frost. 17 for Burnie, Strawn partly cloudy, 17 as well, and 16 for Marrawar. St Helens looking for 16 degrees, partly cloudy for Swansea, 17 the top for Orford. UV very high tomorrow, sitting on 9. On Sunday, fine and partly cloudy, sunny weather over the east coast. Fine day also forecast for Monday, maybe an area or two of morning fog. And on Tuesday, the fine weather continues with northerly winds and an afternoon sea breeze. A sunny 36 in Perth, fine for Adelaide, 21 in Melbourne and partly cloudy. Showers over Sydney, Brisbane, Cairns and Darwin. And the current conditions quite fine around the state at the moment. Great to see you on the set tonight, Louise, as Kim Miller takes Friday off to have an extended break at her luxurious holiday home. Must be nice for the rich and famous, eh, Lou?
Would be wonderful, wouldn't it, Murph? One day we'll get there. That's all your news for this Friday night. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.